Okay. Can everyone hear me? You can just respond in the chat side of things. I just want to make sure we're all good. Okay, good. Hi, Karen. So welcome everyone to the complete practice. You know, when I first decided to change my class name over from, like, those of you that have been my student for a long time and in public classes, changing it over from, I think we called it yogic stretch for a really long time. It was under this premise that I wanted to offer something to the modern practitioner that was based in the traditional reverential practices of yoga as a means for transformation, health, and healing. But I also wanted to offer it in a way that would suit the modern practitioner and all of our needs. Our physical needs are very distinct from perhaps the physical needs of a person. You know, yoga that spans 5,000 years. So if it has to modernize, but at the same time, we must uphold a certain level of the traditional reverential side of things, because if we lose that, then we can really argue that this is perhaps not truly a yogic practice. So this idea of complete, the way that I was taught is that there's three qualities. One is asana, so physical postures. The second is pranayama, and that prana, as we're aware of, which we've been working with last week, and we work with every session, is the life force that abides everywhere, not just in us, but in the whole universe. And ayama means to stretch or to extend. Another translation for pranayama is to unobstruct that life force. And then the third quality of a complete practice, if we look at it as like the tools towards it, is meditation or dhyanam. And dhyanam is another way of describing meditation, which is a fixed concentration in one pointed direction. So I really like to think of this class not only as a holistic means of building and increasing our energy, but as using our energy as something that can potentiate this idea of health and healing, but also our own meditation, and to accelerate it. And that's the way that I was taught, is that when we can contain prana within the body, and we don't need all these external movements, we don't need a lot of it, that we can do it in a very skillful way, that it actually accelerates our transformation and growth. I'm getting Susan in. Okay. So that's the point of a complete practice. And it's not to say that other practices are not valuable, but that this is something that we're tending to the body, the energetic body, and the mental body. And so last week we talked so much about prana. And this whole month we're emphasizing prana as our theme of using it, containing it, internalizing it. And what tradition says is that, like, when prana is depleted in our bodies, there's something that's pushing it out of the way, something that's inhibiting it from expanding within our bodies. And that can be physical and it can be mental. Physical toxins are one. Disease is considered to be, disease and pain are considered to be like the first obstacles in our own personal advancement and transformation. But we can also look at this on a psychological level, that if our minds are disturbed, there's many reasons why the mind can be disturbed. And as I referenced before in this, you know, we have to adapt our practice to the modern age. We have a lot of disruptions of mind. Granted, it's easy to say that the same disruptions that we experience today are the same disruptions people experienced 5,000 years ago. That is fear, right? The ultimate challenge for humans is our survival. but it's got a different twist now, where it's less about running from direct danger and it's more of this psychology of potential danger and so much that the mind can create. So with these disruptions, prana is going to be pushed outwardly. And so this idea and the concept of us like becoming this vessel of health and transformation is to get as much prana in us and then directed in an area of choice, whether that's for personal enlightenment or if that's for health or healing or all of the above. So as I always emphasize in every practice, the breath is key. And in this practice, similar to last week, we're going to be working on extending and lengthening our breath capacity with inhale and exhale, as well as inhale retention and exhale suspension. And these are like basic tools in your toolkit of practicing a complete practice, because it's your ability to influence the flow of prana within the body. And of course, this in turn influences your mind, moves all the rubbish out of the way, both on a physical and a psychological level, and allows you to access what is, again, according to tradition, already present. And whether you have experienced that for yourself or psychologically you can conceive of it being a potential that you already have everything that you need, that enlightenment already exists within you, that you just have to get out of the way of yourself. That's what the tradition says. And I can tell you from direct experience, and maybe you've already experienced this for yourself, is that the more you relax, whether that's more relaxing your breathing, relaxing into a pose, relaxing your effort, not trying to flow against the current so much, whether that's in your own practice or in your life, that things end up flowing more naturally. And we want to find a balance between effort and ease. And that's what we learn in our whole practice. So in this complete practice today, as we move prana in all these different directions, our end goal is to arrive in meditation. And throughout the next few weeks, we're going to be focusing on this concept of the central channel, which is a concept that it's inherent to tantric tradition, the tradition that I've been trained in. And tantra, it's despite many modern understandings of what tantra is, has very little to do with sex. It has everything to do with personal achievement and this acceleration of our own potential that I referenced before. So let's begin our practice today, and I'll leave some time at the end for any questions or comments. You know, it's really helpful the more you guys can let me know how you're doing, since I can't see you as perhaps I once did, and just to let me know how you're going and what your questions may be, so I can start to curate these practices for you specifically, rather than like what I think you need. I want to hear about what you need. So let's come to the mat, or I'll come to my mat. You're probably already there. All right. Let's just take a moment to check in, just a few minutes of breathing. So tap into Ujjayi. Valve the throat. Progressively lengthen and deepen your breath in a way that's easy, calm, smooth. And as you breathe, take note of your current state. At this moment, as we're filming, it's the afternoon. So recognize whatever type of day you've had, and also the quality of information or experiences that you're bringing into your being. And there's a legacy of that at this moment. So just bear witness to it without judgment. Simply taking note as you breathe with ease. Next, I invite you to set intention. This is our sankalpa for practice. And this is not a new agey kind of thing to set an intention. It's really an ancient technique. It brings purpose and meaning to the why you are practicing. And if there's not a specific intention, just the simple awareness of being open to your own potential. Okay, so please exhale. And so we're going to chant Om 3 times, and since I can't hear you, I expect you're going to do it really loud and with that same gusto that we set our intention with. So take a breath in. This is the invocation of everything. All right, yogis. So with that awareness, please open your eyes. And I thought it's suiting that today, typically in the afternoon, I have everyone start standing, but just with everything, a little grounding will be nice to begin. So we're going to start on our backs. And we're going to work on some physical stability. Okay. So do my best so you can see here. Feet are about hip bones a distance apart. I just want you to let your pelvis tilt forward slightly so there's more of an increased curvature of your low back. Now as you exhale, what you're going to do is you're going to draw your core in. And it's more of like an engagement than it is a pushing of your back down. So you're going to find what we call a neutral spine and a neutral pelvis. And now as you inhale, I just want you to relax the musculature. So it's not like you're trying to create more of a low back curve. It's just subtle. And then as you exhale, you're just going to draw in and feel that neutral pelvis. So we'll be working from this concept of neutral, which is a really beautiful technique. Go ahead and exhale. Not only is it more safe for the spine, but it inherently requires you to move from the core, from your center, from a place of stability. So as you begin to expand your prana and your energy and your awareness, that it's coming from a stable foundation. So just do a few more here.
be feeling that's like you're zippering up from the base. Make sure you're squeezing your gluteals as well. And now go ahead and relax, and you're just going to lift your feet up off the ground. Okay, so your knees are perpendicular. You try to find that same neutral pelvis. And now we're going to do a little bit differently. So you're going to inhale here. And as you inhale, try to engage your abdominal muscles. And you're just going to hold your breath and tap the foot down. And tap. So it's not like a true holding of the breath. You might have like a minuscule inhale and exhale here, but the idea is that the inhale retention is helping you engage these deep core abdominal muscles, and that you're moving your legs here from this place of integrity in the lower belly. Good. And then lift up, take an exhale. All right, we're going to add on. So I want you to place your hands on your or on the tops of your thighs. Again, engage. Exhale. Now you're going to stay here and inhale. Try to gauge even deeper through the core. Keep the left hand pressing in the thigh. Push the right leg forward and reach the right arm up and behind you. So as you're doing this, try not to lift your low back off the ground. Quite a bit of core engagement. And then come back to center and exhale. Take a breath in. Engage the abdominals, your pelvic floor muscles, and switch sides. So left leg forward, left arm behind you. Press the right hand into your leg. And then come back to center and exhale. So let's continue. Inhale. Holding the breath. Extend. So you're trying to press your inner right thigh forward. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Or excuse me, and hold your inhale as you straighten. And exhale. So we're kind of yoga-fying what would seemingly be a Pilates movement. Hold the inhale and reach. Good. Exhale. One more time. Holding your inhale, engage the pelvic floor. Make sure you're not excessively curving your low back. Lots of stability here. And then exhale, come back to center. And then place your feet on the ground. Okay. So next, I want you to push your hands into your thighs. The feet are flat. And the bottoms of your hands kind of like on the hip crease. So you're going to push into the hip crease like this, and you're going to exhale. And it's going to help to lengthen the low back. Now I want you to hold your exhale out, push a little further, and see if you can just suction your abdomen in slightly. Now relax, soften the hands, inhale. We'll do that again, exhale, push into the hands, push into the thighs rather. Hold the breath out, suction your abdomen in, and fill up the space in your low back. And then relax, inhale. Do that again, exhale. You might notice that already this builds quite a bit of warmth internally. And so I'm accentuating and emphasizing this idea of internalization for acceleration. Go ahead and relax. The more prana that abides in the body, the more of that waste rubbish removal, the more acceleration of consciousness, so to speak. I'd like you to do just a couple more. Now, if you're experiencing any tension with this, it's normal. You just want to find an ease to it. So don't overly try to hold your breath out. Last one. Okay, and then rest. Just take a few resting breaths here. Breathing in and out. So already noticing that there's some level of circulation, presence, and awareness, especially in this lower region of the body. Now you're going to roll over to your side and just hang out on your side here. I'm going to be mirroring you. So you're going to bring your knees into kind of like a right angle. You can prop yourself up on your hands. We're going to be working on stabilizing the outer leg and hip. Make sure you're engaged so there's a slight neutral pelvis here. You're not dipping the pelvis forward. And what we're going to do here is just inhale, lift the top leg up, and then exhale, lower down. Ujjayi Pranayam. Be mindful as you lift the leg, as it goes vertical, there's a tendency to displace back and roll back. I want you to avoid that. More stability over range of motion. And actually, you're going to increase your range of motion by creating more stability. I remember really early on in my teaching career, I would assist lots of like bigger name teachers at big festivals like Wanderlust. And my job was to go around adjusting people. And the really hyper flexible people, I would always go around and try to make them stabilize. And it made it so much harder for them. And they either really appreciated it and never had felt that stability before, or they really, really didn't like me to do that, because it made it harder. So now from here, knees together and then foot lifts. The studies are showing more and more that it's not about flexibility. Yes, range of motion can be beneficial, but it's about strength. And working with a proper range of motion within strength. And these understandings are all very beneficial for our work with even the more spiritual practices like we're doing today. Just getting our bodies prepared. Now you're going to lift the foot up and you're going to try to straighten the leg. And then you're going to come back so the knees are together, the foot is lifted, and then straighten. Not so worried whether it's an inhale or exhale, just make sure that you're breathing. Last one. Okay, and then come back to center. And I want you just to switch sides. So right away, neutral pelvis, top leg is lifting, feet stay together. I think it's easy to check out when you're doing this stuff. So of course, the breath will help you yogify this rather than making this like just a simple warm-up that you could be doing in any kind of exercise class. Keep that intention of your why you're practicing. Now let's do knees together and foot lifted. There's very little internal rotation of our thigh bones in yoga asana. I think the only postures I can conceive of are Garudasana, eagle pose, and Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Everything else is very external. So working this internal rotation is very important. And I can say, because I know it's all women in this practice, that we tend to be more, our feet splay out. So working with this inner work is really helpful for your gait as well. So bending and straightening. Last one, hold it there. Neutral pelvis, lengthen the low back, and then return to center. All right, so we're gonna come up to all fours. We're going to do some variations of Chakravarkasana. So let's just start with simple Chakravarkasana. This is the ancient cat-cow. So as you're up here, there's a little bit of a back bend. As you go back, it's a forward bend. So you round just your low back and you lower the torso. Come up on your inhale. The last to lift is the pelvis. And go back on your exhale. It's like you're trying to create that same neutral pelvis as you bring your hips back. Lower the torso. Smooth, consistent breaths here. So your breath's going to be slightly longer. Okay, and then come up to all fours. I was trying to figure out the best angle to teach this, but I can't seem to figure it out. So we'll figure it out together. What it is, it's kind of a flow of sorts. So you're all fours, neutral pelvis. And you're going to use your core and your gluteal group to straighten the legs. So nothing new here, right? We've done this 1,000 times together. Try not to compress the low back, draw the front body in, and you're working on straightening this leg that's behind you as much as you can. Now you're going to lift your arm up. That's it. And then I want you to bring the hand to your heart. So you're kind of unstable here, right? And now what you're going to do is take this leg out to the side, fire hydrant style, draw it back in, and extend it back, okay? So you're going to do that a few times in one direction. Be aware that as you're moving here, it's one round of breath, and that you're trying to maintain as much integrity, i.e. stability through your core, so that you're not displacing your weight to one side more than the other. Switch directions. Try to get it out there. Oh, okay. And then back to center. And we're gonna go to the other side. All right, so switching legs. Navel engaged. Opposite arm forward, around the heart. Circles of the leg. As you go open, keep that integrity of stability through your standing leg. So you have to squeeze that outer hip in the same area that we worked on stabilizing with those clamshells. All right, switch directions. And then come back to center. Go ahead and give it a rest. Check out your wrists if you need. shoulder rolls. And then just sense this energy. Energy moving up from the legs, the pelvis, warmth in the navel, even in the arms. Okay? Now, Vajrasana. So standing on your knees, you're gonna reach your arms wide and overhead. And then as you exhale, you're gonna bend forward. Sweep the arms wide and behind you and lower one ear to the ground. So try not to turn your shoulders, just the neck. And as you inhale, you're gonna go wide and back up. I'd like you to repeat that, rotating your head in the opposite direction each round. See if I can get a better view here. How are you guys doing? I take that as you're doing good since I can't see any of you. Keep going. All right, this time lower your arms by your sides. Take pause for a few breaths. And now we'll transition to standing. Standing poses. So let's take the feet slightly apart. I want you to find that same concept of neutral as you're standing here. So not dipping forward, really engaged. It might require a bit of straightening of your legs and engagement of your gluteals. You're gonna look forward at one point in front of you and reach your arms down by your side. Now as you're inhaling, we're gonna come up into Tadasana. I want you to go wide arms today, palms will face up. Reach your arms overhead. As you exhale, bend your elbows and you're going to tap the opposite shoulder blade with your hands. As you inhale, take the arms up and overhead, and then exhale, lower your arms and your heels simultaneously. All right? Now we're going to do the same movement, but with a count to the breath. So let's go to a 5-count breath and we'll work up to 8. Inhale for 5. Exhale, 5. Crossing the arms, tapping opposite shoulder blades. Inhale, 5. And exhale, 5. Modification is balancing without lifting the heels. Inhale, 6. Exhale, 6. Inhale, 6. Exhale, 6, lowering the arms and the heels simultaneously. Inhale, 7. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now you're in the rhythm. Inhale, 8. Exhale, 8. Inhale. And exhale. your resting breath in and out. Okay, yogis. So next, excuse me while I move my pump placement. Crescent lunge. So last week we did a similar adaptation of this. I want you to take the left leg forward, the right leg back, and you're just gonna start with the left leg straight, and this is gonna be our starting position. Exhale, engage, lengthen the low back. So you might need some bend in your back knee if it's hard to find neutral here. Inhale, flex your front knee to 90 degrees. So it's gonna stack over the ankle, and you're gonna reach both arms forward and up. That's it. Exhale, staying tall through the spine, goalpost your arms. You're gonna bring the elbows in by your sides. Inhale, arms extend overhead. Try to lengthen through the sides of the body as much as you can, and then exhale, lower the arms and straighten the knee. Now we're gonna add on to this breath count with breath retention. This is the pause after the inhale. So from here, please inhale for the count of 6. Hold for 3. Exhale, count of 6, bend the elbows. Inhale 6, extend your arms up. Hold for 3, and as you hold your inhale, like we did with that core work on our back, engage your abdominals. Even lower the chin slightly. This is going to help contain prana in the body. Exhale. Release. Good. Inhale 6. Hold 3. Lift your lower abdomen. Exhale 6. Inhale 6. Hold 3, engage. And exhale. 6. Lower the arms. So not a lot of physical movement, but again, this acceleration and containment. Stay with 6, or if you can, we're going to go to 8 count breath. Hold for 4. Exhale 8. Inhale 4. Excuse me, inhale 8. Hold 4. Lift the lower abdomen. Exhale 8, release. Inhale 8. Hold 4. Exhale 8. Inhale 8. Hold 4. And exhale 8. Good. To transition, you're going to spin your back heel down and open your legs. Give it a moment there. It's really intense. You're going to calm down. Prana expansive. And now you're just going to open your arms. Palms up. We're going to bend the front knee to 90 degrees and come into like an extended side angle. I showed you a modification last week on the back knee, which you're welcome to take here. Okay? Top arm is going to go up, or if you want, can go over the ear. Now we're going to hold this pose without moving. Sit, invoke, the opposite effect here, which is more of physical stability and mental stability. As you exhale, draw your navel in, and ever so gently you're turning, opening the chest. Each inhale, creating more length, and each exhale, more rotation. Notice how your mind is responding to holding the pose. If it's fighting with you, find your breath. That's your friend here. The breath is allowing for stability of physical body and mind. Each exhale comes from the deep core that we worked at the beginning of practice. All right, now to release, this is a little different transition than we've done. You're gonna lower your hands down, and I want you to come into half pigeon pose or modified pigeon, seated with a leg crossed over the thigh or on your back. That's more of a modification here for any knee instability. Now you can stay on the forearms or splay forward. One minute of rest, completely effortless. You can, those last few breaths here, just make sure that inhale and exhale are equal. The balancing approach to the breath will help to create nice systemic balance between the sides of the autonomic nervous system. Okay, so to come out of this, just come up. You can do a down dog briefly. And I just want you to sit on your knees, cross-legged if you like, hands on your thighs, close your eyes. Find your breath again. And as you breathe, please conceive of your spine, the spinal column. This is the Sushumna, or the central channel. And I want you just to conceive of your spine as the central channel. It's not exact, but this is where we're trying to direct prana in more expansive, complete practices. And this is like the altar of your body. And just direct your breath up and down the spine. So you might perceive of your inhale at this point, moving down the spine as your lungs fill from the top to the bottom, relaxing the abdomen, and the exhale up the spine. As you engage your abdomen, the diaphragm lifts, the breath moves up, the lungs empty, and travels out the body. Resolving any tension in your breath. So just like if we were doing interval training where we bring our heart rate up and then we bring it back down, we're in effect here training our nervous system to activate and then to downregulate. And this ability to activate and downregulate it's key in this concept of resilience. Our ability to adapt, but also to be aware, to promote discernment. To be aware and to adapt, both on a systemic level and a psychological level. So now we're going to come back to that engagement activation we did on the last side. So find yourself in crescent lunge. Just take your time. Right foot forward this time. And left leg back. Slight flexion in the back knee. Gaze at one fixed point. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Bend your elbows. Exhale. Like you're doing a lat pull. Squeezing the elbows in, retracting the shoulder blades. Inhale, arms will extend up. And then exhale, lower the arms and straighten your front knee. Now inhale for the count of 6. Hold for 3, retain your breath, section the abdomen in. Exhale, 6 counts, bend the elbows. Inhale, 6, reach up. Hold 3. And exhale. 6 counts, returning to the starting position. Again, inhale, count of 6. Pause for 3. Exhale, 6. Inhale, 6. Pause, 3. Exhale, 6. 8 counts. Pause, 4. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 8. Pause, 4. Scoop your navel in. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 8. Pause, 4. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 8. Pause, 4. Exhale, 8. Good, release your back heel down. Moment to adjust. Open the arms, palms up, extended side. Theta Parsvakonasana. Gaze can be neutral or down. Optional, top arm over the ear. Even breath in and out. If it's possible, 8 count breath in and out. And I'm just going to bring my hand here so you can emphasize, but I want you to feel that your exhale begins here. And that as you exhale, it helps to turn your navel. There's a slight rotation quality to every side bend. And although the body is still, the breath is creating this slight movement internally. Stabilizing the body and mind. Balancing effort and ease. All right, yogis, let's release half pigeon. Good time. We're in adaptive figure four variation. Ideas that we're stretching outside of the leg and also finding a passive pose to rest in. About 1 minute here. Equal breath in, equal breath out. Okay, slowly come back up and please make your way onto your back. Give yourself a moment to rest and to feel the chronic effect here. Now, please direct your breath more into your abdomen. You can even place your hands at your abdomen as you initiate your inhale and exhale there. It's a little bit of a shift of your awareness. It's like you're bringing it down. Down into the abdomen, down into the lower regions of the body. This type of breath is more calming and stabilizing and internalizing. You might notice that your mind already it's more embodied in the body. That you habitate your body. That prana habitates your body, and wherever prana flows, that's where your mind flows. Okay, so from here, we're going to do some abdominal Uddiyana Bandha-like techniques. This is movement on suspension. Most of you are familiar with it, and if you aren't, we'll go through it a few times. So arms by the sides. Exhale, engage. Right, reduce that low back curvature. Now, as you inhale, you're going to lift your hips into bridge and take your arms up and behind you. Now, please stay here and exhale. Holding your breath out, you're going to lower your hips so your abdomen suctioning in and up towards the spine. Now, I want you to stay in position and inhale, relax your belly. Let's do that again. Stay here and exhale. Engage. Now inhale, lift the pelvis. Stay up and exhale. Hold the breath empty, lower as slow as you can. Holding your breath out, moving on suspension, the pause. After your exhale, you might feel a little vacuuming effect in your belly. And then when you're down, please inhale, disengage completely. Exhale again, engage. Squeeze your gluteals, and then inhale, lift up. Stay and exhale. Lower as slow as you can on the pause after your exhale. Vacuuming the navel in and up. This is a really powerful pranic technique. Not only that, it's incredibly beneficial for your organs. Relax. And exhale, engage. It helps to accelerate our consciousness. And it's one of the most amazing preparatory practices, just Uddiyana Bandha unto itself, for meditation. Stay in inhale and exhale. Lower on the breath suspension. Stay in inhale and stay in exhale. So I'd like you to do 2 more rounds with me. It's incredibly hard to do this and talk at the same time. So not recommended. Stay and exhale. Lower in the pause. Please lower your arms. Relax your abdomen. And just rest in the chronic effect, the legacy, the energetic imprint of the last movement. And so that's considered to be a purifying movement, and that purification refers to the very rubbish, that blockages, the toxins, whether physical or mental, that push prana out of the body. Now feel that those very toxins that are also removed, they're purified. And so what abides now more in that space is your life force. Tradition likens this idea of prana as the friend to Purusha, consciousness itself. It's the guide. guide that links you with your innate potential. So now as you're ready, extend your right leg forward to the corner of your mat. And your left leg forward to the corner of your mat. Come into Shavasana. So close your eyes or cover your eyes with a cloth if you have one. Let's take a moment to adjust. Lengthen the low back. The connection of your body with the earth. Continue with your abdominal breaths for now. Soft. Nearly effortless belly breaths. Another way to conceive of prana is just this feeling of sensation and circulation in the body. So please bring attention to your ankle, the ankle joints. Just sense or feel this quality of prana, awareness in both of your ankles. And sometimes we have more awareness in one than the other. If you notice any discrepancies or differences, bring more attention to the ankle that you have less awareness in. And so you will feel both equally at the same time. Awareness of the knees, both knees, holding equal awareness. Both hips. Awareness of the wrists, equal awareness. Both wrists. Both elbows. Both shoulders. Equal awareness.
Relax the back of the head, the jaw, and feel the space between your lips. The tongue will soften. Relax your cheeks. And feel an opening in the roof of the mouth. Relax the nose, both eyes, both temples, and the space between the temples. Relax the crown of the head. Awareness inside the body, inside the brain. The middle of the brain relaxes. The inner throat softens. The heart space. Soften the heart space. All armor, all holding around this space, softens completely. The navel, deep behind the navel. Surrender all effort. You feel like your organs are heavy and dropping down and into the earth. No holding. Sacrum, the base of the spine. And as you soften, life force expands. As you surrender, consciousness awaits. So slowly come back to your breath. Turn to your inhale and exhale. You just take your time. You roll to your side and up to a comfortable seat for our seated portion of the practice. So we're going to continue our work with prana. Of course, we're always working with prana, but in the specific capacity of breathing along this concept of the central channel. And then there's many ways to do it. We're going to do it in a way similar to last week. I find to be very expansive. It's called a 4-part kriya. So we'll be working with part from the base of the spine to the navel, and then the navel to the throat to the crown, and then the entirety of this line of energy. Now, this is not a literal line of energy, it's an esoteric one, and we use the symbol of the esoterics to to give our minds an opportunity to conceive something that is inconceivable. So have a grain of salt with it. First up is pure breathing. Close your eyes. Please come into that same state of space and awareness from Shavasana. Just breathe smoothly in and out. Ujjayi Pranayama. Please expand your breath to 50% of your breath capacity. A little further, 75%. It's always comfortable. You're never forcing or straining. You'll know this because tension will arise or choppiness or strain. If that occurs, you just back off. 75% of your breath capacity. Now your comfortable maximum. You'll maintain this for 1 minute approximately. Your comfortable breath capacity. Just following the awareness of breath in and out. The sensory experience, the sensation of inhale and exhale. Principally the space between your nasopharynx region and the throat. There's kind of an awareness there. We'll go back to 50%. Pure breath. And then cut that in half, 25%. So it's a very slight breath. Still in that space between the nose and the throat. To a breath that you're still doing, you're still engaging it, but it's barely there. It's like less than 10%. Feel your whole being relaxing in, everything in. The infinite in. The eyes move in. Face relaxes in. All thought in. So please relax any shaping of your breath and just remain with the slight feeling of natural breath. It's that same kind of awareness that you just had between the nose and the throat. Now place that awareness at the base of the spine. It may take you a moment to resituate your attention. Now, without shaping your breath, we're going to do the practice I mentioned just prior to this, the 4-part Kriya. So you're not going to try to breathe. You'll let the body do the work. When your body inhales, you'll sense or visualize the breath rises on the inhale from the base to the navel, and on the exhale, it descends from the navel to the base. Effortless. Inhale, awareness rises from base to the spine to the navel region, and on exhale, descends from the navel to the base. Breath is so subtle, it's barely there. But it's very evident that it's occurring because you are watching it meticulously with your mind. The mind has become one with the flow of your subtle breath. Now the same awareness from the navel, starting at the navel. Feel prana ascending on the inhale from the navel to your throat and descending from the throat to the navel. It's seemingly a farther distance to travel. Your breath does not change. Just let your mind follow the natural breath. Navel to throat on inhale, throat to navel on exhale. So subtle, so effortless. Yet the mind is completely involved, totally entranced in the flow of the natural breath. You don't have to try to look for it. It shows you where it is. Keep relaxing into it. Now throat to crown on inhale and crown to throat on exhale. Same awareness. There's nothing you're trying to see or to do. The more you relax, the more prana shows and reveals itself to you. And the whole spine, the whole central channel. Prana rises from the base on the inhale, passing the navel, passing the throat, ascending to the crown. And prana descends on the exhale from the crown to the throat, to the navel, to the base of the spine. You'll observe it flows, and it always has flown. This river of your spine, this natural current of consciousness. Relinquish all remaining effort. Surrender all remaining ego, gripping, and ideations of who or what you are experiencing. Prana rises, prana descends in the infinite ocean of awareness. You are but the witness, the observer. Slowly come back to your body, the physical body. Might even squeeze some of the musculature of your pelvic floor to bring your awareness down a little bit more to earth. And then you might even like to brush your hands against your legs, like in a downward motion. And that can be very helpful. Reintegrating. Then whenever you're ready, you can come back. Just slowly take your time. That's a deep one, so please don't hurry out of this. I doubt anyone's gonna probably have questions, but feel free to put them in the chat box and I'll answer it, or open your mic. Next week on Wednesday for the complete practice, we're adding on to this concept of prana and sushumna. So we'll be inviting mantra into this practice. It's so potent, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. And if you like these practices, please share with your friends. The more we can get people, tapping into their innate pranic goodness and potential, little by little, we'll be helping to improve everyone's life. So if anything comes up in the next few days, let me know. I'll be sending out this video as well so you can revisit it. And I really encourage you to do it, because really the gifts are not of practicing yoga once a week or even twice a week. It's doing it on the regular. And we don't always have 90 minutes, but if you can allocate 90 minutes a couple times a week and then have like a mini practice every day, even 15 minutes, the cumulative effect is so much more beneficial than just twice a week. So you can go back to this video and just do the last part, this meditation. I think it will be incredibly potent and powerful, even without all the preparation. All right, everyone. I take that as we're good to go. So I'll see you next week, and in the link with the video, you can also sign up, and feel free to share that with a couple friends. I love you all. Thanks for the support. Have a good rest of your week. Namaste. Yes, thanks for the reminder, Fran.
Evan,
Yeah.
I got disrupted by somebody coming over to the house. Is there any way you'd be sending this as our link tonight so that I could just start over and have a fresh?
Yeah, I'll do it right now, actually. It takes like a second for it to upload.
Yeah, I realize. She came to the door and it was so unfortunate. But anyway, I could do it right away, and after dinner or something. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much.
Welcome. You're so
Bye
welcome.
then. See you.
Bye. Good to see you guys.